will be discussing or talking, I guess, about sexual content, so if it makes you uncomfortable, you can leave. I'm sorry. Also, we are serving tea and coffee by donation, so if you have just 25 cents and you want a quick tea or coffee, it's right over there. And so we're gonna just start off. So if you see over here, awesome colorful hair, her name is Hayley. She will be walking around. If you have any questions that we haven't had and you guys just have a question you want to ask it, lift your hand, she'll come right over and you can speak into the mic and ask it for your fellow panelists. Also, if you have a question but you don't want to say it in person, you can tweet PrideWestern and we'll get those questions by Hayley as well. Alright, so my dear panelists, can you just go in a row, introduce yourselves, say your names, your year, your program, and a random fact.
Alright, I'm Simon, I'm in second year, poli-sci, and random fact about me, I'm left-handed.
Hi everyone, I'm Ken. I'm third year political science / web science scholars electives. And an interesting fact is I missed a week last week because I was volunteering with the Obama campaign.
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm second year women's studies, and a random fact is I have a twin brother.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm in fourth year. Hey girl. Holla. And I'm doing a double major in medical science and applied math. That's what's up. Love numbers. And a random fact about me, I was director of last year's Theater Western production of Legally Blonde.
I'm Heather. I'm old. I'm sixth year. Woo. And I play the drums.
Awesome. Thank you for introducing yourself. So we're going to start off with the first question. Kind of touchy, but that's okay. Can you guys tell us your coming out story?
I actually have a really funny story about this. So, my parents we're not religious. They're very look at both sides of an argument before making a decision. I came when I was 13, told my parents when I was 14. So, when I told my mom, she was watching TV, and I was like, so mom, I have something to tell you. She's like, uh-huh. I was like, I'm gay. And she just keeps flipping channels, and she goes, and? And I was like, that's it? She's like, yup. Continues to flip channels. I sit there awkwardly for 5 minutes. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go. And that was my coming out story.
Alright, cool. So mine was kind of a funny story as well. My parents, actually my dad specifically, sort of called me out a little bit, indirectly. Because that summer I'd been going to Pride events in Ottawa. I had a boyfriend who'd come over a little bit. So it was all there, I just didn't say it. So he just kind of came up to me and was like, hey, so if there's anything you want to tell me, we're here, we still love you, all that kind of stuff. And we just kind of had a brief discussion. And yeah, that's about it.
I love the awkward subtle hints the parents drop. Is there anything you need to tell us? No.
I used to do dance competitions a lot, and I was the only one with really short hair. I had really short hair at the time, and I guess I kind of looked different than everybody else. So one time, just driving home from one, my mom asked me if I had anything I had to tell her, and I could just go ahead. So I was like, all of a sudden I just blurted out, I'm bisexual. Wait, but I'm probably gay. And that's kind of how I came up to my mom, so she took it good.
Okay. So I came out when I was breaking up with my ex-girlfriend, and I went home for the weekend, and she wasn't too happy about it. So as I had quite a few drinks that night, I was just yelling, we were just yelling over the telephone, and my mom was in the next room, so that's how my mom found out, and then she called my dad downstairs, and yeah, basically how it happened.
Sounds intense.
It was really intense.
Didn't seem as easy as the other three. And yourself?
I was raised in a really Christian family, so I stayed in the closet for over a year of my first relationship. And it was just like, I sort of broke down at breakfast with my mom one morning, and she was like, "She's more than just your best friend, isn't she?" And I was like, "Yes." And then I cried, she hugged me. I couldn't even tell my dad because I was just afraid. So when they went out later that day, she told him, and then he came up to my room when he came home. He picked me up out of my chair at my desk and was like, "There's nothing you could ever do to make me love you any less." So,
All right, well then we'll move on to the next question, and it is, who was the last person you came out to? That's a hard one.
I think it speaks for itself with me. I drop subtle hints to people. I'm like, "He's really hot." And then they're like, oh, okay. Because I always find it awkward when you're like, do they know? Like, are they sure? Like, do they want to talk about it? So I'm always like the one who's dropping subtle hints, being like, "He's really cute."
So you're gonna be like one of your own parents who constantly drops the subtle hints.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For me, it was probably today in women's studies. The new friend I made sitting beside me, I told her I was going to be a part of this, so pretty obvious. Women's studies is kind of a stereotype, but whatever.
I don't know, like, I think coming out is kind of like a lifelong process. So, I mean, the last person you come out to is like, I mean, it's every day, right? So, I don't know if there's like a set person or whatever. It's kind of just like, it's every day. Like, you go to a new place or like, you know, meet new people, and just kind of happens. So it's all the time.
The last person I talked to at the PrideWestern booth would probably be the last person I came up to.
That was a good one.
I'm not sure that I actively like tell people. I just kind of let them assume, and if they want to ask me something, I'm more than willing to tell them the truth. Like, I'm not into lying to people, but like, I'm not like, "I'm gay" all the time.
Well, you are today.
True, very true.
Only with the hand motions, though.
All right, so a little bit more of a serious question. Do you guys think it's better to wait until university to come out or high school?
I was going to wait till university, and then I just like went crazy in my last year of high school, and I just couldn't keep it anymore. So I just eventually just ended up coming out. I don't even remember how I did it. It just happened. So some people, they can wait till university and it's safer for them to do that, but I couldn't help myself, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it just depends on the person and the situation, because if it's not really like safe or whatever for you to come out in high school, then wait until you move away from home. But if you have really awesome parents, really awesome family, and you're ready to come out, like, come out.
It also depends a lot on whether a person's ready or not to admit if they're that they are gay or whatnot. Like, for example, if you grow up in a community where it's really religious, then you may think to yourself, "No, I can't be gay, that's wrong, God says that's wrong." But then when you come to university, you start interacting with a lot more people that are, "No, that's okay, God says that's okay." So it just really depends on whether or not one's ready to accept it themselves.
I think it's also just really circumstantial. It requires a lot of self-awareness. So some people go through all of high school not realizing that about myself. I'm one of those people just because it was never something I was exposed to in my childhood. So I think it kind of takes being exposed to it and then being aware and then being comfortable and feeling safe and having the confidence to do that.
I think if people are getting too comfortable being in the closet, that's when it's time to take a step. Like, I know I told my parents when I was like, okay, I'm kind of comfortable with myself now, I think it's time to take a new step. I think that if people aren't pushing themselves to different bounds, to different places with themselves, they aren't going to grow as people. So I think that it's when you're getting to a place of comfort that you need to kind of step out of the comfort zone.
All right, so the next question, we're gonna move on. It's, like I was saying, sexual content, guys. So, who was your first sexual encounter with a female or male? This goes for everybody, it's a co-ed question.
Male.
Female. Female.
Male.
I want to say male, but that's a lie. But then again, I was a rowdy 11-year-old, so...
Female.
Rowdy boy. Okay, so I'm going to ask this one to the guys first. Would you ever have sex with a woman? I know you said you had a sexual encounter. We didn't really elaborate on what that was. So would you have sex with a woman, and in what circumstances?
I've overthought this a lot. I would have sex with a woman, but if a man was having sex with me at the same time.
That works.
Maybe. Not to really be objectifying, but it would have to be a really, really gorgeous woman.
Standards.
Probably not. No.
Are men just too sexy for you? All right, girls, same question. Would you ever have sex with a guy, and if so, under what circumstances? If you haven't already.
Okay, well, I'm not the person to label myself. You never know what's gonna happen, like who you're gonna meet. But I don't think, it would just get to me, the whole penis situation. I just don't know if I could do it.
I would, in theory. I don't see it happening at this point in my life just because of relationships and such. Plus, sperm make babies, so that's a thing.
Okay, so it seems like Hayley, awesome rainbow colored hair. Well, she has a question.
Okay, we had a question on our Twitter feed. They want to know what age you guys were when you had your first sexual encounter.
I think I already told everyone. Whoops, 11. But really with the guy I was 13. Oh, still a little young.
My first encounter was when I was 15 at band camp.
Mine was summer before grade 12, so that would be 16.
I like the prolongation of that number.
As I said earlier, I was raised in a really Christian family, so like no sex before marriage type deal. Obviously no longer true in my life, but I was 19, so it was like first year university, second year university. Yeah, I was old.
Nah.
I was in grade 12.
Fair enough. Any other questions from the crowd while we're at it? Or Twitter questions? Don't forget PrideWestern, at PrideWestern. You can ask Twitter questions. Okay, so are physical flaws a deal breaker?
Certain ones.
Elaborate. You have to elaborate.
I'm a size queen. Whoops. Oh, and teeth are a big thing.
Alright, I mean, it depends. It depends on what it is. Like, I mean, you gotta have like a nice face. Like, I don't know, like, personality for me is a pretty big thing, but like, you still have to be like good to look at.
I think it depends because I like unconventional beauty and like little quirks about people, but you just definitely have to be attracted to the person. So, but it depends what you're attracted to. I don't know. You can't really define like beauty and things like that.
I would say no, but there might be something, but I haven't encountered it yet, so I don't know.
Like personality is a really big thing too. Personality is a really big thing. However, one has to be attracted to the person that they're in a relationship with, and so that's my answer.
Okay, so it's not on my list of questions, but would you have sex with somebody who has like a really bad personality but is absolutely gorgeous in your eyes?
Never.
No?
I could not do it. Just ego, just like, it makes me so mad. I would never have sex with somebody with a huge ego or anything like that.
I'd say yeah. I mean, never a relationship, but definitely like just having sex. Yeah.
Drunk, yes. Sober, no.
Same.
I think it's unlikely that I would get far enough with a person with a personality that I didn't like to actually get to sex, so it seems unlikely for me.
All right, thank you. Next question. When was the last time you had a heart-to-heart with your ex?
Last week?
Are you close with them?
Yes. Yeah, stop laughing.
I don't know. We kind of like talked a bit over Tumblr. Blogs, like, it's not really heart to heart because I don't really talk to my exes too much.
Earlier today, I mean, we're like best friends, so.
Basically it's nothing, no talking with exes. No.
I'm only friends with one of my exes. He's like my family now. It's weird. We had such an on and again, off again relationship that you can't not talk to the person. We had a heart to heart like this summer because we were gonna reconnect and then just wasn't right. So we had a heart talk about that.
Kind of an incestuous family then. No, I'm kidding. All right, so we're gonna move on. Question: what do you count as cheating?
Anything. Like emotional cheating is a big thing for me. You have feelings for someone? No. Nuh-uh. Rude. Stop. Girl, please. Like kissing for me is even cheating. Like you don't do it. It's just like it's a boundary. Like I kiss my girlfriends, but like that's not. It's a non-sexual thing. It's more of like it's like saying hello, but like. But like you can tell when there's a difference.
I would even count dancing as cheating. Just because like I wouldn't want.
We're good. I thought it was on silent.
I wouldn't want like anybody who I'm dating to like go grind up against another girl. Just kind of turned on.
I think anything that violates the agreement you have with the person that you're with. So if they're okay with you doing things, then it's not cheating. But if it's like a no holds bar, you're with me and only me, then obviously anything is cheating. It just kind of depends on what you agreed on and talked about.
I would say dancing's iffy. Like, if I just went up to someone and started grinding with them, then that's a no-no. But if I'm just dancing with some friends, that'd be okay.
Yeah, like friends are different.
But the second kissing starts, no, that's cheating.
Yeah, I mean, basically the same thing. Dancing with a rando, no. Dancing with your friends, go for it. Kissing, absolutely not. And like Patrick said, emotional cheating is also a really big thing for me. So like, if you have feelings for me, you have feelings for me. If you have feelings for someone else, then like, you're not with me because you're with someone else.
Well, according to each of your personal criteria, have any of you guys ever cheated?
I don't want to say it, but I have. It's bad. Like, I distanced myself from my boyfriend at the time. I didn't have like a real reason to break up with him, so I felt bad breaking up with him. So I just moved on before I officially ended things.
So it seems like you're the only one.
Yes, only bad person on this panel.
All right. So, did you have one?
I was in a long-distance relationship at the time. We weren't boyfriends yet, but I didn't want it to go any farther, and I didn't want to just end things over a text message. I wanted to do it in person, but being in a long-distance relationship, it's hard to do that. So, yeah.
That's it. All right. Well then, Hayley, awesome, colorful hair, has another question for us.
Everyone's sending all the provocative questions to Twitter. So the Twitter users want to know, where was the last place you had sex?
Well, I don't know. We never really got to sex, but it was kind of like emotional for me at least. But it was in my bed at my new house.
I'm a virgin, so I haven't had sex yet. But let's see. I went down on a guy in his car.
In a bed would be the last place.
Grimsby.
Explain.
It's a city next to Hamilton. I think it's a city, might be a town.
Oh, the entire city of Grimsby?
The entire city. No, just a bed.
A bed as well.
Actually,
Boring.
sorry, I'd like to change my answer. Since the last time didn't really count, I would like to say Suggy Maitland Hall.
If there's any first years, that's gonna happen a lot. Okay. All right, so back to a little bit of a serious question. Does it get better, or do you personally make it better for yourself?
I'd say both. I think for a lot of people, high school is a very horrible time. And then moving away from home, moving away to university does make things better. Just the environment is just better. But on the same token, you do have to go out of your way to make it better. You have to meet people, get involved, be willing to take those next steps, whether it's coming out or just accepting yourself in those new circumstances. So it's definitely a combination of both of those things.
It does get better, and yeah, just again, you have to put the effort in. You have to force yourself to stop thinking and stop just focusing on the negatives. You have to have a positive outlook that it can suck, and it will suck at the beginning, and it will continue to suck throughout your life, but it will start to suck less because it gets better.
I've always said life is about how you make it, so if you want to make it great, make it great. If not, your life is going to suck hard. But situations definitely do get better. Moving away from your house gets better. Even if you have a great relationship with your parents, like just being able to be on your own makes everything a lot easier.
I think it does get better in and of itself on its own, but I think the degree to which it gets better has a lot to do with you and what you do and the people you surround yourself with.
I would like to say it gets better, but I don't know, nobody really knows when it gets better. I don't think there's no one point in time for everybody. It's just an individual thing, and hopefully in anyone's life, their life just continues to get better and better. So hopefully by the time we're all 80, then it will be truly better.
All right, Haley, you seem to have an audience question.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Dimitri Pananos. Patrick and I are really good friends. Isn't that right, Patrick?
We call it.
We call each other our math husbands. Do you know how you have like work wives and work husbands? He's my math husband. We took all of our classes together. Yay.
But my question has to do, is a little more on a serious topic. On the corner of Richmond and Oxford is a new Urban Outfitters that will be opening soon. What are your ideas on how the CEO of Urban Outfitters behaves, and will you ever shop at that Urban Outfitters? For those of you that don't know, he uses a lot of the funds that he makes towards funding homophobic and anti-gay marriage propaganda, for lack of a better term.
I really love the clothes from that store. However, like that'd be a huge no-no. So I could, if anyone ever sees me in there, just hit me.
I mean, honestly, most of that stuff is way too expensive, so I don't do too much shopping there anyway. But I think like ethical shopping and stuff like that is really important. It's just interesting because Urban Outfitters, I mean, they basically target like the gay market. You know, it's kind of, they make all their money off of like us, but then go behind our backs and fund things to go right against us. So kind of interesting. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I try. I would be lying if I said I didn't shop there. But I don't really spend that much money. I buy things on sale. No. Ever since I heard about that, I have made a conscious effort to not go there because I do believe that like boycotting and ethical shopping and all that stuff does make a difference. So.
I love the clothing. It's so pretty. In Vancouver, it's one of the biggest urban outfitters. I'm from Vancouver. And literally everyone who works there is gay. I don't get it, honestly, why the CEO conducts himself the way he does. I'm surprised it's still going on, but I will shop there. I won't shop there proudly, but I will shop there. And I won't shop there very often, but I will still shop there.
I feel bad because I'm like the same way. Like, I love their clothes there. I only ever buy anything on sale, but it's just, I don't know, I feel really bad shopping there. It's just I probably will go in there at some point and buy like a $10 t-shirt on sale. Like, it might happen.
It's generally not my clothing style, but I would avoid it intentionally even more so, but I don't think I would ever buy anything there regardless.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for the audience question. It seems Hayley has a Twitter question for us.
Okay, so they've actually asked a serious question this time. Our Twitter followers want to know if you've experienced homophobia on this campus, and if you did it surprise you?
I had someone, as I was walking away from campus, tell me to go kill myself from a car. Someone literally yelled at me, "Go kill yourself." They didn't know me. They were in a car. I was just walking home. What's the point of that? Like, to me, like, I get hate on all the time, at least once a week I get some form of homophobic slur from random people I don't know. I've learned to accept that, but telling me to go kill myself, that's just bringing it to another level, and it's not appropriate.
I luckily haven't, but I recognize that I'm privileged in the sense that I don't look outwardly gay, more feminine, so most people just assume I'm straight, unfortunately, but it's also a good thing in that way.
In my experience, it's never really been directed at me, but I hear it, and no, it doesn't surprise me. And depending on the situation, I may or may not say something, depending on how safe I feel. I'm not a big person, so but it doesn't surprise me, no.
I've experienced it in the past, but not on this campus, which is nice. Again, like I've heard it, on and off around, and again, depending on the situation, I'll say something. But yeah, again, I'm very lucky that I haven't had it happen on this campus specifically.
I'm going to preface this by saying that as a gay Catholic, the King's University College community has been very accepting. However, I was in a church group on campus, not affiliated with any groups at the university, but I wore this gay is okay button to one of the meetings. I didn't take it off my shirt. And there was this one person there who just started, it wasn't unintelligently ripping on me, it's just we got into a big debate about whether or not gay is okay within the view of the Catholic Church. And of course, I believe that gay is okay within the Catholic Church. So that would be the closest I've gotten, intellectual banter.
Well, I have to say most of you are probably lucky. I'm so sorry, Patrick. That's kind of really terrible. Hopefully it's a little bit happier question. Hayley has one more Twitter question, so she's going to ask that for us right now.
We're going to swing in the opposite direction and do a silly one now. Guys, do you prefer Bruce Willis or George Clooney? And girls, do you prefer Lil' Kim or Nicki Minaj?
We're going to start with the girls this time. Lil' Kim, or Nicki Minaj?
Neither? Can I pick neither?
If it was life or death, you had to pick one. Come on.
Lil' Kim, she's a little bit less weird. I don't know.
Probably Nicki Minaj, just because she's awesome and she's an awesome rapper. But I don't know, I'm more of like a Kristen Stewart kind of girl.
George Clooney. George Clooney. George Clooney. Bow down to the Lord George Clooney. George Clooney. George Clooney. George Clooney. And Nicki Minaj.
For those of you who don't know, Nicki Minaj supports Mitt Romney and the Republican Party. Just saying. I'd also have to say none of the above. Brad Pitt from Fight Club.
George Clooney's too old, so.
So you would go with Bruce Willis.
If I had to choose.
They're both old.
But I think George Clooney looks older.
No, but George Clooney has like a graying goddess beauty to him.
I wouldn't choose either one, but if I did have to choose, I feel like George Clooney just looks older. Not down.
All right, well then we will return to the questions. What gay, lesbian, queer stereotype annoys you the most?
Ooh. That just because I'm gay, I'm attracted to every man I see. No. That's mostly false, actually. But you can keep thinking that.
That gay men aren't athletic. I mean, I'm on a varsity team. I'm athletic.
That all gay men have excellent fashion sense. I do not. Stop asking.
That in all lesbian relationships, there's the man or the woman. I hate being asked who is the man or the woman in the relationship. It's the most annoying question. Never ask it, just never.
I think I'd have to agree with that because in my experience it's really not been that way at all. So.
All right. So what are your thoughts on the gay party scene? Lavish.
I happen to think it's a little cliquey. Like, you go in there and if you don't know, if you're not like that well connected yet, like I went there in first year, and I don't know, people don't seem that friendly. Like some people obviously are a little friendly, but just like as in general, I think the lesbians there and the bisexual girls there or whatever could be a little bit more friendlier.
I'm a little torn. I mean, like, it's a lot of fun, but I think you gotta take it for what it is. You know, like, I think getting caught up in it can be really unhealthy. Just, I don't know, like, it's just that kind of place. It's a lot of fun, but you gotta know, you know, when enough is enough or what you're comfortable with, because it can just keep going and going and going and going and going, and next thing you know, you're in a real bad situation. So I think, yeah, I mean, take it for what it is. It's fun.
It's really fun in Toronto, but really expensive. In London, it's as fun as Toronto, but not as much of it. But it still is fun and cheaper. In Hamilton, no.
I got exposed to the gay scene very young because I'm from Vancouver. A lot of older gay men like to prey on the younger gay guys, so in grade 11 I had a negative experience with it, and then I've had negative experiences with it here, so I try to avoid it as much as possible.
I'm not big on bars at all in general, but I would prefer it to a straight bar because people don't violate me there, which I'm really cool with. But it's not really a huge thing that I'm into.
We seem to have another Twitter question.
I wasn't going to do this question, but we got it twice in a row now. So our Twitter followers want to know your opinions on personal grooming in the downstairs region.
If you want me to go down there, you better groom. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to force. I mean,
Amen.
I'm the same.
I think it's just clean. That's clean.
Tends to be important. It's in hygiene, by the way, because we might cut out. Do you guys tend to date older or younger? And if it's older, by how much? If it's younger, by how much?
I don't know. I guess like in theory, I would say like the same age or younger. Or like I've dated older, but it's been like younger looking. Yeah. So like I think my rule is kind of like 2 below, 2 above. generally. Or if you're like older than that, you gotta look younger than your age. I don't know. I have a thing which is like young looking. That sounds really creepy, but
I've tried dating older just because I like, when I was younger, I really liked more mature people, so that normally meant mid-20s. However, I found that it's really hard dating outside of your age group because then they're going through a different, like, they're at a different stage in their life, and I like dating someone who's at the same stage in their life as I am.
To jump off that, I like to date someone who's in the same stage of their life as I am, but that for me means emotional maturity. So my favorite age is 27. I'm 20. I love me some 27-year-olds. I've dated like 4 27-year-olds in the past year.
There are any gay 27-year-old men in the crowd?
They shouldn't be in the crowd though.
I've only ever been in relationships with people the same age as me, but I find older women really attractive just because I'm kind of an old soul and I'm kind of mature and I like a woman who's mature and, you know.
I've also only ever really dated within like a couple of months of my age, but I guess I would either, as long as they're mature enough or young enough to be relevant, I would guess.
Just like to jump in super quick. Just to build off of what Ken was saying, it is, I agree, it's really important that they're at the same stage in their life as you are, because there are a lot of situations where like you could be the same age, but like they're just coming out and they're not comfortable, like, you know, they haven't come out to their parents or they're not really like out and you're completely out and comfortable with yourself. And that can really cause some problems in terms of just like simple things like holding hands or going out or whatever. Like you might be comfortable like saying, oh yeah, he's my boyfriend, but they would be like completely mortified to say something like that. So like that's something really important. Even if you're both like 19 years old, like you could be at completely different stages. So it's really important that you have two people who are at like the same level in terms of like comfort and that kind of thing.
All right, fair enough. Is this an audience question? All right, so we have an audience question.
Hi, I'm Hazel. Have you or would you ever date somebody you randomly met online, like Facebook or Twitter or Grindr?
I've done it. I do it a lot. How else would I find 27-year-old men?
That was actually one of our Twitter questions too, is how do you guys feel about online dating and if you have favorite sites?
I'm on OkCupid. It embarrasses me to say that, but I'm totally like up for online dating, anything like that. But because it's hard to find people if you're gay, like it's not. The world's mostly full of straight people, or out straight like.
I hate when people are like, oh, I have a gay friend. Oh yes, that definitely means I want to date them right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've never really had the need to use them. I'm not sure if I would because I've never been in a situation where I felt it was necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I haven't really ever felt the need to. I don't know if I would. I mean, maybe, but I mean, I can't really say for sure because I haven't been there.
I did have a really fulfilling relationship with someone I met on Grindr. It can happen, usually it doesn't. So I'm also on OkCupid. Yeah. Plenty of Fish just kind of dropped out a while ago.
So, you know, if any of you guys are crushing, just search for those 3 people's profiles. And we have a Twitter question now.
Our Twitter users want to know if you guys get offended when people use the phrase, that's gay, just in everyday conversation.
I get really offended by it, and actually in first year, so many people on my floor would use it, and I'd just be around them constantly, and it just annoyed the shit out of me. Like, it would annoy me so much. I just hate that phrase.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, there's so many other words you can use. Like, why you gotta choose that one? And like, I mean, me personally, like, I don't really care that much, but I know the impact that it has on other people who may feel differently. So I do go out of my way to call them out because I mean, like, why just use a different word?
It does really piss me off when the people I'm around know I'm gay and they use that phrase, but I'm not going to drop down and like rip open anyone's throats and just like, why'd you say that? but I'd let them know that it's not cool.
I'm so vocal about the phrase that even like my friends now, like telling other people not to say it. No one says it around me. It's not cool with me. Because I came out so young, people stopped saying around me when I was 14. It's been 7 years. Like, they don't say it. If you say it, I'm not really your friend.
Yeah, I can't stand it either, and if it's a situation that I'm in repetitively with the same group of people, I definitely make a note of being like, please stop, because it really bothers me. So, yeah, it bothers me too.
Fair enough. All right, so for the guys, could you say that you have something called like a fag hag? For anybody that doesn't know what a fag hag is, it's basically a straight girl that really likes hanging around with all the gay boys.
I have like 10. They're all like for different situations, for different groups of friends. They're my top girl. They'd come to bat with me. If I had to swipe at someone, they'd be right there. Yep. My little fireflies.
The apartment that I just moved into, she was my fag hag, and now she's gone, and there's an empty spot in my heart.
I don't know. I don't think I'd say like I have one specifically. I mean, I have a lot of female friends, but like none that really fit that description specifically.
All right, well, similarly for the girls, do you guys have guys that are your bros?
Yeah, I have some guy friends who I'm really close to, so I guess it could be my bros.
My bro is actually my brother, literally, but we have like a two guy best friends type relationship. We have a very bizarre sibling relationship, but yes, but he is actually my brother as well.
I would also like to point out that I do have a lot of girlfriends who I call bros on a regular basis.
And another Twitter question.
What are you guys' plans for after undergrad?
More school! Yay! Okay, law school, probably Osgood.
I earlier said I'm in 6th year. That's not because I'm a failure at life and haven't graduated yet. I got my degree after 4 years. I did a co-op last year. I applied to a professional school and got waitlisted. I'm here because I'm killing time while I reapply, basically. So a master's in occupational therapy is what I plan on doing eventually, when I get in.
I'm hoping for business. I want to go into IB, fingers crossed. Yeah, so international business is what I'm looking for.
I would like to go to school for journalism and become a writer, maybe.
Masters of Applied Math, PhD in Applied Math, teaching Applied Math. Yay! Wow. Imagine me teaching first year calc though. Cute, right? Here's an integral.
All right, Haley, you have another question?
A little bit of a heavier one. Do you guys have any opinions on biphobia and transphobia in the queer community?
Yes. As a person who identifies as bi, it is very frustrating. To be like, if I were to ever be with a guy ever, people would look at me differently and they would say that I'm not gay anymore, and that's really frustrating. And having trans friends to feel like they wouldn't be accepted at places that I am currently because I have more female-oriented leanings seems really ridiculous to me, because they're outcast from so much of society, so why aren't they accepted with us?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous because I mean we're all like, if you look at like the LGBTQ umbrella, like we're all like a minority group. So for us to turn on each other, like that's not really helping anybody. You know, like we'd be so much stronger if we just stood together and just like fought together, and then we'd actually get somewhere instead of all this infighting. I don't think it's not beneficial at all.
I think it's crazy too when you see so much backlash when people change their label, but really people shouldn't care. One person has one life, so they should be able to do what they want with their life and label themselves however they want.
I was biphobic until about a year ago. I was one of those people that said, oh, it's just a stepping stone, oh, they're just saying that they're actually gay. Like, I was one of those people. I do feel bad about it, but I have learned. I had an experience with a guy who fully identified as bisexual, and upon having that experience with him, I didn't think that there was someone who could fully appreciate both men and women equally. But after that, it's completely changed my perspective on it.
No one's a Kinsey 6. Everyone is bi to some degree. Just saying.
We have another audience question.
I'm Kalani. Shout out to Pat. I just want to know if there's anyone in your family that's kind of like, or anyone significant that like, kind of like cut you off after you came out.
I've been very lucky. My entire family has been really, really great about it. I've had really no problems. One of the lucky ones, I think.
My dad kind of did. I didn't see him for a while. We still don't talk about it at all. And if it comes up, I will stand my ground and defend myself because it's just bullshit. Sorry for swearing, but it's just, like, it makes me so mad that somebody that is supposed to love you could care that much about who you love.
My uncle owns a gun store in Mount Forest, Ontario, and he still accepts me. So I've been really blessed with that.
In my initial coming outs, no, but subsequent to that, conversations that I've had with my father have been less than equal standing. So as much as he never cut me off in my initial coming out, we've definitely had altercations about it since then. So yes and no.
I haven't told my grandparents. They're the only people in the world who probably don't even just clue in. My grandfather recently passed away, and one thing that I wish I could do is go back and tell him. But the reason I didn't tell them is just because like my grandma has a very big tick of asking a lot of very personal questions. So I don't want to tell her and have her ask about like my sex life. Because who wants to talk about that with their grandparent? No, I was just gonna hope they'd wait until I had like a significant other and then I would tell them.
I should add that I haven't told my grandparents yet either. My family's not close at all to my dad's parents, and my grandmother, around the time I came out, she had a really bad stroke, so she's still got a lot on her plate. That, and she expects me to become a Knight of Columbus / a priest, so it's not in the same pathway. Just avoid the topic altogether.
And another audience question.
A goofy question, but to the guys, would you consider dating a trans man? And to the women, would you consider dating a trans woman?
Yeah, I totally would.
I would consider dating a trans man or a trans woman.
Yo, if he was a babe, let's go.
I've never considered it, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't considered it either, but I mean, I'd be down.
What would your reactions be if like you didn't know up until the point where it came to actually be physical, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
I think I'd be weirdly overjoyed about it. I'd be like, oh my god, yay! And then I'd like fangirl or something weird.
I don't know, we just like talk about it, figure it out.
It's the same for like if you were just gonna date anybody else, like, I don't know, you just talk about it.
I think it would be a little awkward if they never said anything about it until the clothes came off. Like, I think there would be a time to talk about it before that point in time. But I wouldn't have a problem with it. It would just be like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, as an introvert, the first thing that I would do is I would put like a cement block where my face should be, and just so that I have time to process it. It is still a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal, but it's just still kind of shocking, so it's nice to know beforehand.
So, well, this goes for guys and girls. Do you guys, or girls, do you ever wear makeup?
No.
I dated a makeup artist, so I've really considered it.
I'm wearing makeup right now. Not for cosmetic reasons. I have massive hickeys on my neck right now, so there they are. That's all point of time. It happens.
The makeup didn't really work that well.
No, that's because I don't know what I'm doing. But you know, I tried. Kind of helped a little bit. They're worse when the makeup's not on, so.
I don't on a day-to-day basis, but I have makeup, I just don't use it very often.
I obviously, yes, do wear makeup.
I was gonna make a joke there, but it was not a good one. So I think that about wraps up the questions. If anybody else has a audience question or a Twitter question that they want to ask right now, it would be the time, because we don't do this every day. Although it would be cool, but we don't. So if you have another question, just raise your hand. If not, I think that will be the end of the 2 Girl, 5 Gays co-ed PrideWestern edition, hosted also by the USC. So thank you very much for everybody coming to watch, and we enjoyed having you here.